Use kindness wisely and sparingly, like valuable currency. If overused, it may lose its value. Imagine a universe where every action, desire, and achievement is driven purely by benevolence. Such a world, bursting with kindness and filled with warm-hearted individuals, seems unimaginable against our turbulent reality. However, ponder upon this. Could unbridled kindness be the downfall of this utopian society? Through the lens of Stoicism, this narrative gains a deeper dimension. Stoicism, a philosophy that prioritizes virtue, wisdom, and self-restraint, encourages us to cherish kindness but balance it with moderation and rationality. To coexist harmoniously with nature, as Stoics did, one must respect its boundaries and anticipate potential adversities, even with noble intentions. In this hypothetical world, an excess of unchecked kindness could inadvertently yield undesirable outcomes. This notion embodies the Stoic belief that virtues like kindness should be tempered with wisdom and equilibrium. Kindness is universally revered. A testament to this fact is its portrayal in age-old tales and the works of esteemed thinkers. These narratives from diverse eras and cultures illustrate how kindness can be transformative. They recount exploits of heroes and heroines who, through their constant benevolence, overcame challenges, unified communities, and propagated love. Amidst the cacophony of today's world, kindness remains a universally accepted trait, transcending distinctions of ethnicity, faith, or geography. This perspective, grounded in Stoic principles, invites us to contemplate the balance between unrestrained kindness and strategic benevolence. However, despite its grandeur and allure, kindness harbors a less recognized facet. This aspect, though overshadowed by its numerous merits, may pose risks if unchecked. Individuals swaying towards this extreme may inadvertently self-sabotage, triggering self-doubt and contaminating their spirit. This brings us to our central discussion. Much like overwatering can wilt a plant, there exist instances where kindness can backfire. Even with noble intentions, excessive or misplaced kindness can sap our energy, leaving us feeling exploited, desolate, or weary. It seems paradoxical, doesn't it? Could something inherently good possibly be detrimental? This is the precise question we seek to explore. We'll venture into the shadowy corridors where benevolence, if not exercised judiciously, can falter. The objective isn't to instill fear, but to foster awareness. Awareness imparts the ability to strike a balance, exercise discernment, and express kindness in its most authentic, impactful, and enduring form. From a Stoic viewpoint, this discourse assumes greater significance. Stoicism, emphasizing self-discipline and rational thought, cautions against extreme emotions or actions, even if benign in nature. Stoics believed that undue kindness, devoid of rational balance, could harm individuals and disrupt harmony. They advocated for a balanced lifestyle where kindness is complemented by self-awareness and practical wisdom. This Stoic perspective underscores the importance of understanding and regulating our actions, ensuring our kindness is not just well-intentioned but also well-directed and balanced, benefiting both ourselves and others. Many may find our exploration unusual or even contentious. After all, we inhabit a world that ceaselessly advocates kindness. Corporations incorporate kindness into their business models, and educational institutions embed it within their curriculum. Heartwarming instances of spontaneous kindness frequently surface on social media, and businesses are leveraging them for their branding. The ubiquitous mantra, "Always be kind," may easily lose its finer nuances amidst a plethora of other life philosophies. As we embark on this thought-provoking journey, I urge you to keep an open mind. Furthermore, I encourage introspection and dialogue, both with yourself and with me, because our mutual objective is to evolve as individuals and gain a profound comprehension of the multifaceted virtue we call kindness. Let's undertake this expedition together to comprehend the 7 ways in which kindness may inadvertently harm you if not vigilantly monitored, as well as strategies to evade them. Remember, acts of kindness are not declining in power. Rather, they are evolving to continue being the robust, positive force we cherish. We often find ourselves striving to appease others with noble intentions. We've all been in situations where a friend requests a favor when we're overwhelmed, a colleague seeks assistance on a project during our leisure time, or a family member invites us to an occasion when we're mentally drained. In such scenarios, our knee-jerk reaction is often to consent. After all, what's a minor inconvenience if it brings joy to someone we care for or alleviates their distress? At its core, people-pleasing is the incessant urge to satisfy others, even at personal expense. This trait may initially seem commendable. Such benevolence indicates selflessness and kindness. The individual who constantly goes the extra mile is frequently lauded by society for the sacrifices they undertake to fulfill numerous responsibilities and commitments. However, beneath this adulation lies a convoluted web of emotions and repercussions that many fail to comprehend until they're entangled in it. This is the outcome of incessantly striving to satisfy everyone without setting boundaries. Continually prioritizing others' needs over your own, albeit with good intentions, can potentially have adverse impacts on your well-being. The first casualty is often the individual's mental and physical health. A stray yes can swiftly escalate into an overwhelming situation characterized by overworking, late hours, neglecting personal care, and incessantly juggling tasks. Before you know it, you're experiencing burnout. Some preliminary signs of this condition include persistent fatigue, mood swings, and feeling increasingly disconnected from your hobbies and interests. However, burnout is just the tip of the iceberg. When one repeatedly places others' needs above their own, resentment begins to creep in. It's natural to feel this way when personal boundaries are constantly violated. The mind starts to question, why must I always sacrifice? Does anyone acknowledge my hard work? If this resentment is not addressed, it can deteriorate relationships, which contradicts the very purpose of striving to appease everyone. If unchecked, people-pleasing could lead to the loss of one's identity, which is arguably the most detrimental outcome. As individuals continuously adapt to meet others' needs, desires, and standards, they gradually lose sight of their authentic selves. Their interests start mirroring those of their peers, their perspectives adapt to align with the group consensus, and over time, it becomes increasingly challenging to distinguish themselves from the people-pleasing persona. To reclaim your autonomy, you must first acknowledge the potential pitfalls of excessive people-pleasing. However, awareness of the problem is merely half the battle won. The more significant challenge lies in translating these insights into action, the most potent tool for which is. The most potent weapon you have against unchecked people-pleasing is the capacity to establish reasonable boundaries. Remember that boundaries are not obstructions, but rather guidelines that help you define your personal space, limits, and values. Before you can navigate social interactions without losing yourself, you need to discern which behaviors are permissible and which are not. Having clear boundaries is crucial, but unless you can articulate them effectively, they are of little use. No is not a rejection of the person or their request. It's an affirmation of your identity. This brings us to no, the most powerful two-letter word in English. It signifies an acknowledgement that you would like to assist or participate, but your current circumstances or health prevent you from doing so. Setting boundaries and declining requests may induce feelings of guilt, particularly if you have a history of trying to please others. It's imperative to understand that saying no doesn't diminish your worth or kindness. When an individual prioritizes their own well-being, they are better equipped to genuinely and reliably assist and support others when appropriate. Kindness and the desire to please others are integral elements of the vast web of human relationships. Balance is crucial, as with any complex system. Recognizing the pitfalls of excessive people-pleasing, establishing clear boundaries, and learning to say no without feeling guilty are all measures individuals can take to create a life that's not only pleasurable for others but also deeply satisfying for themselves. Prioritizing self-kindness is a prerequisite for genuine kindness. Unadulterated kindness is a glowing testament to the human spirit, exemplified through a supportive hand, tranquil dialogue that fosters peace, and a generous heart that gives without expecting reciprocation. However, this openness could potentially expose you to manipulation from individuals with dishonest intentions if not tempered with wisdom. It may be surprising, but not everyone who extends their hand in gratitude for your kindness seeks a relationship rooted in love. For some, the ultimate goal may be to exploit. Often, it begins subtly. It might be a colleague who frequently requires assistance but never reciprocates when they are needed, or a friend who habitually borrows money or possessions without returning them. Both are examples of individuals that should be treated with caution. The problem escalates when dealing with a partner who consistently demands emotional support but seldom provides it. Over time, these isolated incidents evolve into a pattern that exploits others' kindness and generosity. For individuals who are regularly exploited, various consequences can ensue. It's evident that this drains one's mental energy. When your kindness is unreciprocated, dismissed, or unappreciated, it can take an emotional toll. The once inexhaustible energy and passion for helping others gradually diminishes, replaced by increasing negativity and apprehension. The tangible loss of resources is another significant factor that can contribute to emotional distress. Exploiters are often prepared to compromise your time, money, and even health to fulfill their desires. If you yield to such manipulations consistently, you may notice setbacks in your personal goals, financial stability, or career progression. The most insidious consequence, however, is a loss of self-esteem. Kindness should engender pride, but these experiences can induce self-doubt, leading to a decline in self-confidence. Repeated exploitation of your kindness can lead you to question your self-worth. Questions such as, am I not deserving of respect? Why am I perpetually used? Is there something wrong with me? May constantly haunt you. So how can one protect themselves from such abuse while still being kind? The first step is to become cognizant and acknowledge what is transpiring. It's crucial to be vigilant for indicators of manipulative behavior, such as blaming others, making hollow promises, employing guilt trips, or perpetually changing the goalposts. Knowledge of these tactics can help discern genuine requests for assistance from deceptive ones. However, awareness is only the beginning. The next step involves utilizing discernment in your interactions. Regularly evaluating your relationships is vital to distinguish between those who reciprocate kindness and those who merely take. This evaluation doesn't necessarily mean severing ties immediately, but it could entail adjusting your generosity and openness based on the nature of the relationship. Open communication is a critical skill on this journey of self-discovery. If a pattern of exploitation is identified, it needs to be addressed. Sometimes, a candid conversation is all it takes to alter the dynamics of a relationship. At times, the other party may be oblivious to the situation. When it comes to being kind without being exploited, the combination of kindness and understanding is paramount. Kindness does not imply obliviousness. You can, and should, be kind with both your eyes and mind alert. Being well-informed, perceptive, and open to communication not only helps prevent exploitation but also ensures that your acts of kindness are directed towards those who genuinely appreciate and value you. Being kind doesn't mean you should be an open book, vulnerable to damage. Instead, envision yourself as a well-regulated library, accessible to all, but with clear rules ensuring that the knowledge and kindness within are valued and reciprocated. There's often an emphasis on maintaining positivity and a pleasant demeanor. This expectation, particularly prevalent among those prone to kindness, can lead to suppressing authentic thoughts. There's an unspoken expectation to maintain a calm, kind facade, even amidst criticism, cruel remarks, or life changes. This propensity to always be nice or accepting can be beneficial in many scenarios. Yet, it can be a double-edged sword if it leads to suppressing genuine emotions. Initially, this mask may be perceived as a protective measure, as confronting issues directly may create conflict or discomfort. It seems easier to smile through the pain or dismiss a harsh comment with a laugh. However, over time, this mask solidifies and becomes an integral part of your identity, a reflexive response rather than a conscious choice. Our emotions serve as a communication channel between us and our minds, reflecting our well-being, needs, and boundaries. When we consistently suppress negative emotions such as anger, grief, or pain, we obstruct this internal dialogue. This can have several repercussions. Suppressing emotions can increase stress in an individual. Both the body and mind expend significant energy in concealing these emotions, which can lead to fatigue, restlessness, and even physical symptoms like headaches or stomach discomfort. The mental toll is even more severe. If emotions are not acknowledged or addressed, they don't simply disappear. Instead, they linger beneath the surface and can, over time, contribute to various mental health conditions such as anxiety, depression, or a pervasive sense of melancholy. Continuous repression of feelings may result in emotional outbursts, instances where the suppressed emotions surface in contexts unrelated to the initial cause. Perhaps the most substantial impact of this denial is its effect on relationships. Authenticity forms the foundation of genuine, profound relationships. Constantly concealing one's true self under a facade of perpetual kindness can hinder others from perceiving, comprehending, and connecting with their authentic selves. Such deceit can render interactions superficial rather than profound. The first step to liberating oneself from repressed emotions is acceptance. It's crucial to acknowledge and accept that experiencing a spectrum of emotions is not only normal but also beneficial. There are moments to smile, moments to refrain from laughing off certain comments. Communication becomes the compass that navigates through this psychological terrain. It's healthier to express emotions than to suppress them. The aim is not to unleash anger uncontrollably or allow sadness to engulf others, but to articulate feelings in a constructive and beneficial manner. Emotional intelligence and open communication are intertwined. Emotional intelligence involves recognizing, comprehending, managing, and appropriately expressing our emotions while ensuring the message is understood rather than merely heard. It facilitates the expression of emotions without causing harm. A crucial aspect of this journey involves surrounding oneself with supportive individuals who value emotional honesty. These could be friends, family, or support groups providing a safe environment to disclose feelings and fostering honesty. Gradually breaking away from concealing genuine emotions contributes to the journey towards authenticity, embracing all emotions, both positive and negative. Building relationships grounded in deep understanding and connection not only boosts your mental and emotional health, but also fosters relationships based on truthful emotional communication and the practice of emotional intelligence. It's essential to remember that genuine kindness extends beyond being kind to others and includes being kind to oneself. Part of kindness involves allowing oneself to experience, express, and fully embrace the human condition. People with a benevolent spirit often feel compelled to push boundaries and exceed expectations. People with genuinely kind hearts may feel this impulse even more intensely as they aspire to assist, inspire, and make a difference in the world, even when they're already burdened. They often find themselves volunteering, aiding others, or taking on additional responsibilities. Undeniably, these actions are undertaken with the best intentions. However, consistently overburdening oneself may yield unintended and frequently damaging outcomes. Instances of this occur regularly. A friend may request a favor when you've hardly had a moment to yourself, or a colleague may implore for assistance on a project when you're already overwhelmed. In such situations, many feel inclined to agree immediately. This may arise from a desire to be kind, trustworthy, or simply due to the difficulty of refusal. Perpetually stretching oneself thin equates to incessantly drawing water from a well without allowing it to replenish. Initially, the effects may not be noticeable, but over time the signs of depletion become evident. Outward symptoms such as fatigue are indicative of the stress exerted on the body in an attempt to meet escalating demands. Sleep may be disrupted, energy levels may dwindle, and a general sense of exhaustion may set in. The mental strain is even more intensive when overburdened with tasks and responsibilities. This can impact the ability to concentrate and perform efficiently, often compromising quality in the process. Moreover, Feelings of inadequacy and a decreased sense of self-worth may develop over time due to persistently accepting more than one can manage and subsequently struggling to keep pace. Initially, being of service and assisting others may bring joy, but eventually, this joy can transform into resentment. This resentment may be directed towards those you're trying to help or towards oneself for failing to establish boundaries. Feeling resentment towards others for being kind, given your innate nature, is an odd sentiment to harbor. The initial step to breaking the cycle of overextending oneself involves recognizing your limits. This doesn't imply self-doubt or lack of competence, but rather understanding that your energy, time, and abilities are finite. To sustain service over time, judicious allocation of these resources is crucial. Enhancing self-awareness is vital in this context. Regularly assessing your workload, mood, and energy levels should become a habit. If you notice constant fatigue, anxiety, or resentment, it's possible that you are taking on too much. Being self-aware entails the ability to say no. Declining a request does not devalue or detract from one's kindness. It implies a brief pause, ensuring that when one agrees, it's executed with total dedication and vigor. Self-care is another integral aspect of this process. Prioritizing activities that rejuvenate and restore your spirit is essential. This could include participating in sports, meditating, exercising, or simply taking time to relax. Allowing oneself downtime is crucial. It's important to remember the saying, "You can't pour from an empty cup." Kindness is a profound attribute, but should be practiced judiciously. It's not about the frequency of kind acts, but about discerning when to help and when to step back. Striking a delicate balance between self-preservation and kindness is pivotal. By acknowledging your limitations, gaining self-understanding, and prioritizing self-care, the sustainability of your kindness can be assured. One can strike a balance by ensuring that acts of kindness are not fleeting gestures but enduring commitments. Conflict is often associated with heated debates, hurtful remarks, and persistent stress. Therefore, it's not surprising that many people, particularly those who are innately kind-hearted, tend to avoid it at all costs. These individuals often steer clear of disagreements, challenging discussions, and even silently endure wrongs to maintain harmony and prevent anyone from getting upset. The objective is to evade creating discomfort or provoking disputes. However, what if in this pursuit of eternal peace, one unknowingly incurs a silent yet significant cost? The issues that spark disagreements don't miraculously disappear when conflicts are constantly evaded. Instead, they simmer beneath the surface, creating subtle undercurrents that influence interpersonal interactions, decision-making processes, and emotional states. This is because the underlying issues triggering the disputes remain unresolved. Continually postponing necessary conflicts can lead to an accumulation of unresolved issues which can be deemed as invisible barriers. Initially, these might not be apparent, but they interfere with genuine relationships and comprehension over time. These issues intensify over time, leading to feelings of disconnection and fostering misunderstandings within relationships. The constant presence of unspoken issues also contributes to stress, as everyone tiptoes around the palpable issues or problems that are apparent but never addressed. This conflict might not be in the forefront of everyone's minds, but it always manifests itself. This could take the form of passive-aggressive behavior, sudden emotional outbursts, or even physical symptoms such as stress or anxiety. By avoiding necessary conflicts, individuals miss out on opportunities for personal growth that extend beyond the immediate context of their relationships. Confrontations, though challenging, are catalysts for personal development. They foster resilience, enhance communication skills, and enable better understanding of others. By consistently dodging them, one is depriving oneself of the chance to acquire these valuable life skills. In the current context, it's crucial to distinguish between unnecessary conflict and constructive conflict. The former is exasperating and detrimental, stemming from the desire for control or attention. In contrast, the latter is rooted in the pursuit of understanding, resolution, and growth. Embracing constructive conflict doesn't mean seeking out problems. Rather, it implies a readiness to address issues as they arise, prioritizing long-term resolution over temporary tranquility. The key is not to perceive conflict as warfare, but as a platform where individuals with varying perspectives can converge and discover common ground. Clear and effective communication is crucial in facilitating constructive disagreements. Active listening is essential to comprehend the other person's perspective, feelings, and concerns before responding. To avoid accusations, use phrases such as, "I feel," instead of, "you did." This approach can help reduce hostility and foster understanding. If something is unclear, it's better to seek clarification through questions rather than making assumptions. Identifying shared goals or concerns and using these as a foundation to build upon is beneficial. Recognizing that varying viewpoints are acceptable and being open to disagreements is essential. The objective is to learn, not necessarily to reach a consensus. While avoiding conflict might alleviate short-term discomfort, it usually leads to long-term complications. However, being equipped with effective conversation techniques can help confront these conflicts, leading to improved communication and stronger community ties. Embracing constructive disagreement requires bravery and prioritizing depth over superficial harmony, progress over stagnation, and authentic relationships over mere accommodation. The understanding that true kindness sometimes involves engaging in conflict for the sake of mutual growth and understanding is crucial. Not because you enjoy conflict, but because it allows both parties to develop and comprehend each other better. Selflessness, often considered a highly desirable characteristic in many cultures, can inadvertently diminish your sense of self-worth. We often hear tales of individuals performing remarkable acts of kindness, prioritizing others' needs over their own. This virtue primarily consists of genuine concern for others and a profound desire to improve the world. However, constantly practicing this form of kindness without parallel attention to oneself can erode one's sense of self-worth. If an individual continually prioritizes others' needs, feelings, and desires over their own, their mind begins to internalize that these external needs are more important than their own. Over time, this mindset becomes deeply ingrained, leading to several detrimental consequences. The most apparent outcome is a diminished sense of self-worth. If one continually neglects their own goals and aspirations, self-doubt tends to creep in. They may feel insufficient or as if they constantly fall short of expectations. This isn't a fleeting feeling, but one that impacts their decision-making, actions, and relationships. In such situations, it's common to feel undervalued. You might feel as if you or your actions are insignificant, especially when interacting with others. These feelings may not have any factual basis. They could simply be extensions of the narrative you've constructed about yourself. Additionally, missed opportunities indicate further deterioration of one's sense of self-worth. You might not chase that promotion, pursue your dream project, or stand up for your beliefs if you don't take care of yourself. In other words, the world doesn't get to witness your full potential because you've chosen to dim your own light. To acknowledge and embrace your worth, it's not necessary to swing to the opposite end of the spectrum and become self-centered. The key is to find a balanced middle ground where kindness towards others is complemented by kindness towards oneself. The journey to self-worth begins with self-kindness. This entails loving, caring for, and understanding yourself as much as you do others. Regardless of your success's magnitude, remember to celebrate them and take pride in them. Rather than viewing your flaws as indicators of inadequacy, perceive them as opportunities for personal growth. Cultivate a nurturing internal voice that empowers you rather than belittles you. Concurrently, strive to be more assertive. Expressing your needs, feelings, and boundaries clearly and respectfully doesn't make you aggressive or domineering. It means you're forthright. Participating in confidence-building activities or workshops could enhance this skill. Here are some steps to incorporate self-compassion and confidence into your life. 1. Regular self-reflection. Dedicate time to contemplate your desires, goals, and feelings and validate them. 2. Positive self-talk. Challenge your negative self-perceptions and replace them with affirmative statements. 3. Establish your boundaries. Respect for others, but simply means you're taking ownership of your well-being and contentment. Do not hesitate to express your needs and decline when necessary. 4. Solicit feedback. Engage with trustworthy family members or friends about their perception of you and contrast it with your self-image. Their insights could prove enlightening. 5. Invest in self-growth. Attend workshops, read books, or seek therapy. Tools aimed at enhancing self-awareness and confidence can transform lives. True kindness is not a finite resource where caring for oneself detracts from caring for others. Cultivating your self-worth and practicing self-love enables you to perform more impactful, enduring, and meaningful acts of kindness towards others. Simply put, respecting yourself isn't egotistic, it's fundamental. It ensures your acts of kindness stem from abundance, not scarcity, from choice, not obligation, and from love, not duty. Across cultures and ages, kindness has been universally valued, but the concept has been often misunderstood or diluted due to various interpretations and perceptions. A common misconception is that kindness equates to passivity, frailty, or an inability to assert oneself. This misinterpretation may originate from folktales depicting benevolent characters as submissive and meek, or cultural norms correlating gentleness with weakness. However, the reality is far more complex. Individuals who habitually yield, appease, or suppress their voice under the guise of kindness may encounter numerous issues due to this misinterpretation. They might mistakenly equate kindness with passivity, leading others to perceive them as indecisive or feeble. Whether accurate or not, these impressions can have real-life consequences, especially in environments like workplaces, where clear-mindedness and assertiveness are prized. Consistently suppressing one's desires or opinions for the sake of kindness can also be misinterpreted. Colleagues may interpret it as a lack of conviction or motivation, while friends may perceive it as disinterest in deepening the relationship. This misunderstanding can lead to missed opportunities, strained relationships, and weakened self-esteem. The issue lies not with acts of kindness, but with their interpretation and execution. Genuine kindness is a potent mix of care, wisdom, and strength. It's neither weak nor passive. There's no need to refrain from championing one's cause or demonstrating kindness. Being mindful of when and how to wield this power constructively is key. Aid rendered to those in need is a sign of strength, not weakness. Silence can be more eloquent than words, and true courage lies in standing up against injustices for oneself and others. Assertiveness is the pinnacle of kindness. Here are ways to exhibit robust kindness. 1. Understand the difference. Continually learn about the distinctions between boldness, assertiveness, and passivity. Kindness thrives in an environment of boldness. 2. Clear communication. Be upfront and clear about your needs, thoughts, and feelings during interactions. Doing so doesn't diminish your respect for others. It simply acknowledges your needs and emotions. Able to say no, it comes from choosing to say yes. 3. Kindness does not equate to allowing others to overstep your boundaries. Establishing boundaries is an essential aspect of kindness. It's crucial to enforce these boundaries whilst maintaining respect for others. 4. Lead with empathy. Understanding others' feelings and needs enables you to navigate situations with greater kindness and confidence. 5. Identify a role model. Seek out someone in your life or history who exemplifies assertive kindness. Learning from their actions can be a beneficial part of the process. The narrative around kindness needs reshaping. Kindness is not antithetical to strength. Rather, it complements it. A kind person can be an effective manager, a persuasive leader, and an ardent advocate. They wield their strength not like a blunt instrument, but like a precision tool, exact, successful, and posing no harm to others. To truly comprehend the multifaceted nature of kindness, we must discard the simplistic, one-dimensional perceptions. Authentic kindness is not a weakness. It's a reservoir of power and wisdom that we all need to grasp. In our journey through the intricate landscape of kindness, we've examined its various facets, highlighting those areas where its essence may often be misinterpreted or misguided. These points include: 1. Discussing people-pleasing tendencies. We touch upon the risks of constantly seeking others' approval and the importance of setting boundaries. 2. Avoiding exploitation. You need to identify and navigate potentially hazardous situations where genuine kindness could be manipulated. 3. Addressing emotional repression. We discuss the hidden toll of constantly donning a kind facade and the liberation that comes with expressing your true feelings. 4. Overextending oneself. Being aware of your limits is crucial to prevent burnout. 5. Avoiding necessary conflict. We discuss the covert risks associated with consistently avoiding confrontations and the potential growth that can ensue from positive conflict. 6. The damaging impact of continuous self-sacrifice on one's self-worth and the healing effect of self-compassion. 7. The misconception of kindness being a silent act. We debunk this notion by demonstrating the robust and assertive nature of true kindness. The comprehensive image of kindness that emerges from these discussions is clear. Kindness should be balanced. It's not about disregarding oneself. It's about valuing oneself. Implementing authentic kindness intelligently transforms it into a powerful force benefiting both the benefactor and the recipient. However, like any power, it should be wielded with awareness and prudence. Kindness should function as a pair of wings facilitating your flight, not as a burden weighing you down. It's important to recall that kindness should not come at the expense of your health or self-respect. Self-care and selflessness are not mutually exclusive. They can coexist harmoniously, like yin and yang. As we close this chapter on kindness, let's proceed with the understanding that genuine kindness is not a whisper, but a commanding declaration. It's not about relinquishing power. It's about exerting influence. True kindness involves setting boundaries while opening your heart, maintaining your convictions while aiding others, and empathizing with others' sentiments without compromising your self-worth. Use this as your compass. Kindness is not the inability to refuse, it is the choice to consent. Potency comes not from weakness but from wielding power with compassion. Hold on to this notion, and let your kindness illuminate the world, a beacon of hope and humanity.